Hey everyone, Steven here, back with another video. This video is titled, Is Mae Muller an Industry Plant? Mae Muller, who represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest last night, ended up second to bottom with only 15 points. So we're not far off being one of the worst of all time. 20 years ago we had one, and it was the very infamous, it was known as nil points, and we got no points, but, still only 15 points, second bottom, that's still pretty poor. But the reason I wanted to do this video is because, you know, there's a lot of stuff there online about Mae Muller, about stuff that she had tweeted a few years back, just when when it was the lockdown, early on with the lockdown, the pandemic, and with some of the stuff she tweeted, quite controversial, and it's just really, to me, I'm just speculating, really, how is she in the position that she's in, representing our country in the Eurovision Song Contest. Um, Now again, people can say, oh, freedom of speech, but then that there seems to be obviously there's a typical double standard there, obviously, when it comes to that, when people say that. Back in 2020, and this was when Boris had COVID, and then Boris had to be in intensive care. She tweeted Mueller that she did. I mean, she basically didn't believe that he should have had ICU care. She tweeted, "Unpopular opinion, but I do not feel sorry for Boris Johnson. Yes, he is human. Yes, he has kids, but so do hundreds of other people who have actually died due to Tory policies. Taking up a bed in intensive care, but you're not on a ventilator in high spirits? Nah, mate." Now, yes, so this is somebody that, and I do remember someone tweeting about this, saying that she didn't believe that Boris should be in ICU care. Um, Now, obviously, I mean, does she have a right to her opinion? Absolutely, she has a right to her opinion. That's what freedom of speech is all about. But let's say if this is an artist that was more, let's say, right to centre, and he had tweeted some stuff being critical of how Keir Starmer failed to investigate Jimmy Savile back in 2009. Do you think he would have made it onto Eurovision? I think not. So there is the blatant double standard that's on display there. But with Mae Muller, I mean, for her to be in the position that she's in, there's some questions that I have there. I mean, with her background, so Mae is actually her middle name, so Holly Mae Muller, born in 1997, British singer and songwriter. I had it in my mind she was maybe a bit younger, but she's 25 years old, born in London. So being born in London obviously helps when it comes to trying to get into the music industry. Said her grandfather was a refugee, escaped to Britain from Nazi Germany at the age of 12. She's mentioned her Jewish roots and denounced anti-Semitism. But the thing with Mae Muller is, just looking at her background here, apparently she had a studio album that was released 5th of April 2019. But I don't think it did anything. I don't see anything here about how many it's, the streaming views. Don't see any entries in the charts at that time. But yeah, though, she was somebody that had been tweeting, thinking that Boris shouldn't have had ICU care. And I do remember something about that back at the time, but I couldn't remember. It was like a nurse that said that, or was that actually, would it have been Mae Muller that said that, and that's what the mainstream media picked up. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe her background is that she did work in the NHS as a nurse or something. I don't know. I mean, she's obviously had to make a living doing something else, because I don't think it was through music. But there's some questions there with Mae Muller. Looking at her background, her auntie is a music director, and looking at the video for the song, it was in Eurovision. I Wrote a Song. There was the Masonic checkerboard, the black-white checkerboard. So I don't know. I don't know if it was our auntie that directed the music video, but then obviously there's an industry connection for her, so that obviously helps. It's not what you know, it's who you know. That's what they always say. Or says the people that can't do it on merit alone. you know. But so, 2009. So Mae Muller tweeted "fuck the Tories" because that's so cutting edge. That's such a revolutionary thing to say, right? Fuck the Tories, you know. And again, this is what kids do. They think they're edgy when they say this. It's like when kids these days fucking get tattoos or become vegans, and they think that's a personality trait. But but the song, though, I mean, to be fair, was the song bad? I mean, I don't think the song was that bad. It wasn't that typical, hokey, cheesy Eurovision kind of song. It wasn't. I've heard worse. And with this, it was to do with some like ex, I guess, who cheated on her, so messed up her mental health. Rah rah rah. One of the lyrics here was, "Wanted to trash your bands, tell all your friends." Bands and friends. I think she was listening to one of my raps. I had a line in one of my songs. "My friend, I know you Lisa Benz, you might fool your niece and friends, but I'm a dude who got a clue about the recent trends." Way much better than her one though, but maybe she had been listening to my rap. And there was a little bit of a rap at the end, like a 4-bar rap. I mean, you know what? If you probably should have brought in an actual rapper to do like maybe a 16-bar rap. That might have helped. But I don't know. Maybe sometimes maybe they're not allowed these little added extras. Extend the song. I don't know. So maybe they weren't allowed to do that. But again, it wasn't too bad the song, to be fair. But again, there is this thing of why was she the chosen one though, Mae Muller? Somebody who has said how she isn't proud of the UK. She hates this country. I mean, the thing with me is that I don't hate the UK. I hate kind of the government. I would say I hate the government. I hate the people in power, but I don't hate the country though. Um, and there is just stuff there about her that, some people have speculated online that she might be part of the 77th Brigade. The 77th Brigade is with the army, but they what they'll do though, it's really they're looking at people. Here's the proper official thing here. What they do: a hybrid unit of regulars and reservists with specialist skills to combat new forms of warfare in the information environment for the defence of the UK and its overseas territories. But basically, in layman's terms, what they are, people that work for the 77th Brigade, they are professional shit disturbers. That's what they really are. And part of their job would be, a lot of it is to cause dissent on social media. So, for example, that like maybe on Facebook groups, there'll be a couple people there, and then they'll start maybe disagreeing with somebody who's like genuine as an opinion. And then someone else that's part of the brigade will come in, and then they'll start disagreeing, and then there'll be this big long ass argument, and you got to scroll pages and pages down to look at it. And yeah, that's the thing. I mean, and at that point when you're looking at it, it's kind of like a car crash. You can't take your mind off of it. I mean, you can't look away. It's not pretty, but at the same time, you're looking at it and you're just kind of all days confused. You're not sure what to believe. And also with the 77th Brigade, basically, they're spying on people. They will spy on people who are questioning the official narratives. And they had a dossier, I believe it was on David Davis, the Tory MP, and he had been critical of lockdowns. He had been critical, I think, of the vaccine, despite taking the vaccine himself. They'd been spying on Peter. It's the boy Bridge. What's his name? Peter Hitchens, the writer for the Daily Mail, and these are people that are fairly like kind of centre right, but these are still people that to them, if they're questioning narratives, you've got to be keeping an eye on. And some people, but with Mae Muller though, some people have speculated that she's maybe part of the 77th Brigade, and the reason some people online have speculated that this is the reason is that they blocked Mae Muller, and then they only realised this when the whole big thing with Eurovision coming up, that they had blocked her previously, and they were basically saying that they only really block people who are just total like shit disturbers, or people who are just constantly will antagonize them. They're not like these snowflakes who, I mean, you got that even these snowflakes who'll never have actually corresponded or tweeted or spoke to somebody, and they'll block them. They're that afraid of these people, their opinions. I mean, there was that whole thing. I think it was H from Steps had blocked about 300,000 accounts. There was something where he was able to get all these accounts blocked of people who were maybe, I don't know, critical of the whole transgender thing, and he got all these people be able to get all these like hundreds of thousands of people blocked. People that they didn't even, all of them didn't even have a clue who this guy was, But yeah, I mean, that's the thing with Mae Muller. There's definitely some questions there. I mean, overall, just looking at her, I mean, I wouldn't say she's that attractive, and with not that attractive, not attractive, appearance wise, probably on the inside. I'm talking on the inside and the outside. I think that song that she had, basically, it was very much sounded like kind of Dua Lipa. I would say that she's a pound shop Dua Lipa, and yeah, I mean, she wasn't the person to represent the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest. And people like her, I mean, absolutely, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I would dare say that, yeah, probably that connection there with her auntie, maybe that was a bit of an in that helped her getting into the industry. Who knows? But and then that was the thing. She never really had many. She hasn't had many hits. I wrote a song. Well, that's number 30 in the UK charts, but I mean the charts don't really mean anything these days. She had a hit there, Better Days, with the Swedish collective Naked and Polo G Rapper. So that was a bit of a hit. That was 2 years ago. That was a year after the whole stuff she had tweeted about Boris shouldn't have been an ICE. Boris. She didn't believe Boris should have been an ICU care. So maybe that was the industry giving her. That was that was her. The industry giving her some goodies there, a big hit there. Because of what she had tweeted there with Boris. I mean, there's a lot of these people. You can just kind of sense it that they're not totally authentic. That they're plants. They're industry plants. I felt that with Travis Scott, and I've just felt that with a couple of these modern artists, and so is she an industry plant? It wouldn't surprise me, And as I say though, I don't think the song was anything that special. It's called "I Wrote a Song." She actually had two co-writers, so yeah. I mean, who knows? She maybe didn't actually write anything. She maybe just a couple of words, a couple of suggestions, but they gave her a writer's credit. That does happen a lot. But yeah, basically she was just a pound shop Dua Lipa to me. Nothing special at all. But yeah, those are my thoughts, guys. I will be back with a couple more videos soon. I'm going to be, I think, doing another video on the Philip Schofield thing. There's the first video I've done on this has been picking up a bit of steam, and there are some things though that I'm going to touch on that I was meaning to mention it in the first video, but I think I'll do another continuation of that video with the dark side of Philip Schofield. So stay tuned, guys. So thanks. See ya.